Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in, because today we are exploring a fascinating and honestly absolutely crucial topic for anyone sharing their home with a feline friend. We're breaking down how to speak cat, and specifically we're focusing on a touch language that, statistically speaking, you're probably getting wrong. I know, it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow. But the truth is, well-meaning owners everywhere might accidentally be teaching their cats to brace for impact instead of leaning into love. By the end of this, you are going to see exactly what your hands are really saying.
Okay, let's really dive into this. When you pet your cat, do you actually know for sure if they like it? I mean, yeah, they let you do it. They sit there with that classic aloof cat expression, but tolerating your touch and genuinely enjoying it, those are two completely different things. The way most of us naturally pet our cats is silently and consistently teaching them to pull away from us. So let's look at the first major miscommunication between our hands and their nervous system.
Section 1. The tail-based trap, or why elevator butt isn't exactly what you think it is.
You know the exact scenario, right? You're scratching that spot right above your cat's tail, and instantly they lift their back end up. We humans take this as a massive green light. We think, oh, they're begging for more, so we keep scratching. But then, suddenly, the tail twitches, the skin ripples, they spin around, and bam, they bite your hand. Well, here's what is actually happening beneath the fur. That patch of skin right above the tail is literally one of the most nerve-dense areas on your cat's entire body. When you scratch it, you aren't just delivering a nice, relaxing sensation. You're firing off a massive flood of signals that their nervous system has to frantically process all at once. For the first few seconds, sure, it feels good. But past that brief little window, it tips into a biological state called petting-induced overstimulation. At this exact moment, their brain literally loses the ability to distinguish between pleasure and a threat. So that sudden bite, it's not aggression. It's actually their nervous system short-circuiting from way too much input.
And what about that raised back end, the famous elevator butt? It turns out that's just an automatic reflex. Kittens lift their hindquarters when their mother grooms them. This behavior is deeply, deeply wired into their biology before they ever even meet you. When your cat raises up, they are definitely not requesting a deep tissue massage on their tail base. They're just responding to a nerve signal that happens entirely automatically. It's exactly the same physiological mechanism as your leg kicking out when a doctor taps your knee with a little hammer. So the fix here is incredibly straightforward. Stay away from the tail base unless they specifically present it to you, and even if they do, keep it to just a few seconds.
Moving right along to Section 2, cats are not dogs, and the hidden danger of the friendly pat. Have you ever caught yourself giving your cat a few quick pats on the head or on their side, much like you would greet a golden retriever? To us, it feels super affectionate. It feels playful. And because your cat likely just sits there and takes it, you naturally assume everything is totally fine. But again, sitting there and taking it is not the same as enjoying it. Now, what's really interesting here is the evolutionary divide. Dogs evolved as pack animals. Rough physical play is just built into how they bond. A firm pat mimics the contact they get from other dogs, so their nervous system reads it as social, energetic, and fun. Cats are the exact opposite. They are not an inherently tactile species. When they do touch affectionately, it's through slow, sustained contact. They press, they rub. Their entire touch language relies on steady pressure, never impact. So when you gently pat your cat, their nerves register every single tap as a tiny startle. Outwardly, they might not flinch because they know you aren't a threat, but internally, their body is bracing for impact every single time your hand comes down.
And hey, this isn't just a wild theory. A brilliant study out of the University of Lincoln, led by Dr. Sarah Ellis, actually tested 34 cats across 8 different body areas. The results were crystal clear. Cats consistently responded most positively to slow, focused pressure around the scent gland-heavy areas. We're talking the cheeks, the chin, and the forehead. The most negative reactions, patting motions near the tail base and sides. Patting simply does not exist in their natural vocabulary. So if you trade that quick pat for a slow, steady press on the cheek, you will instantly feel them stop bracing and physically lean into your hand. That right there is what genuine enjoyment looks like.
That brings us to Section 3, the sleep rule, and why touching a sleeping cat actually breaks their trust.
Picture this. Your cat is curled up on the couch, eyes shut, completely and totally relaxed. You walk by and you just have to give him a little stroke because they look so incredibly peaceful and soft. It's an act of pure love. It feels like the most harmless thing in the world, right? But here is the dramatic reality of feline biology. In the wild, a sleeping cat is a dead cat. Every single cell in their body knows this to be true.
Sleep is the single most vulnerable state your cat ever enters. When your cat finally closes their eyes in your living room, they are making a massive neurological decision. They're telling their own nervous system, this environment is safe enough for me to completely shut down. Choosing to sleep exposed in your home is the deepest, most profound form of trust a cat can possibly offer you.
So, what happens when we touch them mid-sleep? Well, their system was powered down, and your hand just forced it violently into emergency mode. Their heart rate spikes, their muscles tense. Even if they immediately realize it's just you and they settle back down, the damage is already done neurologically. Their brain logs a terrifying memory. I was unconscious and something touched me. If you do this enough, that deep, side-exposed sleep disappears entirely. Keep in mind, cats need 12 to 16 hours of uninterrupted sleep cycles daily to regulate their mood and immune function. Break those cycles, and you create a chronically under-rested, irritable cat. So the rule is simple. If they're asleep, just admire them from a distance. Let them wake up and come to you.
All right, which brings us to mistake number 4, the two-hand trap. This is when double the love actually means losing an exit.
You think you're doubling the love when you bring in a second hand to pet both cheeks at once, or maybe scratch their chin while stroking their back, but watch their body language. They freeze, their ears shift, and within seconds, they bolt, leaving you with 2 empty hands wondering what on earth went wrong. So, the crucial point is this. For most cats, being touched on both sides simultaneously does not feel like extra love. It feels like losing their exit. It really doesn't matter how gentle your hands are. Their body is suddenly boxed in. The instant that happens, a primal survival signal overrides every good feeling they had, telling them, I can't leave. The moment that option to walk away disappears, the interaction fundamentally stops being about affection and starts being restraint. This is backed up beautifully by research from Nottingham Trent University, led by Dr. Lauren Finca. Her study proved that giving cats constant choice and control during physical interactions makes them significantly less aggressive and, surprisingly, remarkably more affectionate. Cats require the ability to revoke consent at any millisecond. Taking away that control, which is exactly what 2 hands landing on their body does, turns a bonding moment into a survival scenario. The fix? Always use one hand. Always leave one side of their body completely free. It's a real game changer.
And finally, Section 5, the feline greeting ritual. This is the secret language most owners completely skip over.
This is the simple bridge between our human hands and their feline boundaries. Think about how we normally approach our cats. We walk up, reach down, and just start petting. Our hand lands on their body before they've had any say in the matter whatsoever. To us, it means hello. But to your cat, it is the exact equivalent of a stranger walking up and putting their hands directly on your face without asking. You'd probably bite too, right? Every single time your hand approaches unprompted, their brain runs a threat assessment. In the feline world, 100% of bonded cats establish safety through a mandatory mutual check-in before any physical contact ever occurs. Literally no exceptions. When 2 cats meet, they don't just start grooming each other. They stop at a distance, extend their noses, and touch. They exchange scent to confirm safety. So, here is your precise, 3-step human translation of this hardwired ritual. Step 1. Extend your hand slowly. Step 2. Hold it perfectly still, a few inches from their face. No wiggling fingers, just hold it there. Step 3. Just wait. If your cat leans forward and bumps your hand with their nose or cheek, that is a clear yes. They have completed the greeting. You can now pet them, starting from a foundation of absolute consent. But what if they just sniff your hand and pull back or look away? Well, that's a no. But it's not a no forever, it's just a no for right now. Respecting that no today is the single fastest way to make your cat trust your hands more tomorrow. By trading our assumptions for their natural touch language, we don't just avoid bites or startles, we build a deeper, more incredible bond than we ever thought possible. So as you rethink every pat, scratch, and snuggle, I'll leave you with this. If you finally start speaking their touch language today, what will your cat tell you tomorrow? Thanks for watching this explainer, and keep learning.